I'm going to be using this Ankara fabric for this bed. It's going to turn out fine. Okay guys, trust me. It's going to be for the lining, and this one is going to be for the external. Using a buckle measures 1.5 inches. Elastic gum. So we're going to be needing eye length for the bag. Might need about 5 to 6 that I'm going to be using for this bed. Eyelet too, to kind of fix the eyelet and secure it. Hole punch. So fix where we are going to be putting this eyelet. You need your plank, your hammer. Cut out the leather. Length of this leather is about 14 inches by about 1.5 inch, depending on the width you want. This particular one I made is over 1.5 inch, so once it will be wide, I can take over that measurement, which is 1.5. But once the bed's edge to have this shape here, the other edge is just going to be straight. In order to get this shape, I'm not going to use this piece of leather to demonstrate the process of getting that shape. This one is about 1.5 inches. I'm just going to measure 1 inch up. I'm going to bend it into 2. I'll fold it to pen to mark out the middle point, which is around here. So you just connect this mark, 1 inch mark, you connect it to this middle mark. So you can decide to connect this other one. You draw another 1 inch mark and connect to it, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to fold it into 2, okay, and just cut. I'm just going to be applying gum on the 2 and lay my Ankara fabric or Africa print fabric on them. So this is the right side of the Ankara. So I'm just going to lay the fabric on top. As you lay it on top, I use your hand to kind of smoothing it out. I'm going to be cutting out and leaving excess Ankara print because we are going to be wrapping on it. I'm going to apply gum on the edges, then fold this towards on the edges. I'm just going to be folding towards it, just the normal way we do our bag. It's very simple to make. Using your finger to make sure you push it towards that edge. Cut a notch. So just cut a notch, then you fold it. Then I'll put a little bit of gum here, then I'll fold it like this. Okay. So I'm just trying to put gum on this side. I'm going to apply at this edge. You let it dry. I've also cut out this leather too that I'm going to use for lining. It's 1.5, right? So I took from here to here. It's not up to 1.5. Okay. This is the one I took for the external 1.5. For the lining, I took here to here. I don't want it to extend out by the time we lined it. Alright, so you can use leather to line just like this. You can wrap it with another Ankara. So I'm just going to be wrapping with a separate Africa print material. And for the lining, the length did not get to the edge. I actually removed about 1/2 inch. Okay, because remember we are still going to be folding later. Be applying gum here. Finish applying gum. I'm using this fabric here for the lining, laying the gummed part of the leather stabilizer on the wrong side of the fabric, which is the Ankara print. So my print is kind of squeezed. So if you want to do yours, make sure you iron it first, turn it, then I'll start stretching this out. As I said, it's kind of squeezed. You can iron yours first. So you don't necessarily have to use Ankara to wrap it. This is the lining. So but this is what I want because I'm making this for myself. I'm just going to trim off some Ankara print and leave excess since we are going to be wrapping. This kind of slighted, so I just cut a slighted shape here. Follow that shape. So I've wrapped it. I'm still going to iron it. There's no light now. So okay, so the next thing I'm going to do before the light comes, I'm going to apply gum on the edges. Lining. I'm doing the lining. Remember we've done the external. We are making beds, Ankara bed. Take notes. As I said, you don't have to wrap Ankara fabric. Done the lining, and this is the external. You're just going to put it together. So I'm just going to clip As I said, I removed some inches. You can see that it's a bit like, I love the way it's turning out. This is the part I'm going to be using for the external, and this is the part I'm going to be using for the lining. So before you sew, you can decide to figure out the part you want to use for the external. So this split too, it's fine. You can also use this part for the external. So I'm just going to sew all around. So in sewing, the foot of this machine is at the edge of the fabric here. Once you get here, just put your needle down. So I'll just use my hand. So once I get to this pointed part again, I'll bring this up. I'm going to move it. So once I get to the pointed, and also pointed end, then I'll bring this up, then I'll move. I want to show you guys something. Can you see some parts of the line is coming out, like it's sticking out? It's because I didn't align it well. You make sure you aligned it well so that everything will just be equal. Burn the thread that is fraying out. So to put it, I'll show this one is facing down. It's like this. I'm going to position it like this. Take this edge. Now this edge, I'll pass it into it like this. So now where I'm going to put my hole, because I'm going to be punching hole where this part is going to be going through, guys. So I'll put it to check where it's going to fit in. So I'll just pass it like this. So I want it to be like this. Okay, so I'm just going to mark out at the center where I'm going to be punching hole on. Okay, so I'm going to be punching hole at the middle where this part is going to be coming out from. I'll take my chalk, I will mark out the middle. I'll take it to my table and punch a hole on it. So you're going to place your hole punch on this mark area and you are going to hit on it. Okay, I'm going to take it to the table now and do that. Finish punching the hole. Yeah, this is what I used with my hammer and my plank. So I just place it on that hole and you just hit on it. Okay, I don't want to use this machine so it doesn't get spoiled. I'll pass it through it like this. Pass it through this hole. I'll pass it through this hole. So I'll pass it like this. Okay, I want to point out two things. First of all, if you are getting your buckle, make sure this one is very long. This particular one I got is very small, this part of it. Okay, and also if you are getting the measurement of your external, get the measurement of the buckle first to know if it's going to pass through. All right, next thing I'm going to do, you can either sew with your machine to hold it in place. I use your rivets. You can put one here and put one here. I'm just going to sew on it first. I want it to be very strong before I use rivets. So I'll just sew on this stitch. I'm going to be putting rivets, so I have two of them. I'm using two. So this is the one that is going to be the external, and this is the one that is going to be the wrong side. So this is what I'm going to be using to secure the eyelet in place. This and this. Okay, then before then I'm just going to be poking hole on where I want to put the rivets. So just I advise not to use your machine though, just for you guys to see what I'm doing. From the back, from the front, I'm going to put this part of it. Okay, so I'll take this one. I got this one from AliExpress. It was shipped to the post office in my area. So use my plank, place this on top, place this part on it, this front on this. So I'm just going to be placing this one on the wrong side of it. Just take my hammer and hit it. Okay, I've done the first one. I'm just going to do the second one now. So this way I'm going to be poking the hole just close to the edge and make sure they are aligned. Take this from the back. I'm going to pass this. Okay, and I'll take this part of it. I'll pass it like this. Okay, so I'm just going to secure it in place just like this one. You can see how tightly this one is. To do it, I'll take this to secure it. I'll turn it like this. I'll take this part, there's this smooth part of it. I'll place it on the wrong side of the rivet. I'll hit it. As you can see, it was secured. There are other smaller sizes that you can get if you want the smaller size. The last thing we are going to do is to put holes on this part of the bed where this part of the buckle is going to be passing through. Okay, I'm going to be using this hole punch. So from this edge, I'll measure out 2 inches. So from the middle, you're just going to measure like 1 inch in between. You're using 4 eyelets, 1 inch distance in between them. Okay, so we've gotten the 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can add more to it if you want, depending on what you want. So I'm just going to be punching the holes. Make sure you're punching on the middle. So I'm going to do 1 of it here, then I'll take the rest to the table to do. So I'll put this one through it. This eye is going to come out. So I'm going to be using these 2. This part of it is going to go to the back. Then I'll just press it to secure it. This is secured, very well secured. Okay, just going to press it down. This one is on the wrong side, this part of it. I'll put it on it like this. Can you see it? Then I'll put this one on top of this. Then I'll press it down very well to ensure it's well secured. Through it. This is the inside, the lining. As I said, you can use leather for the lining. I'm just going to put this on to see how beautiful it's going to turn out.